If you've ever stood in front of a mirror, turned just slightly to the side and thought, I cannot wear these shorts. Or maybe you skipped the swimsuit or changed outfits 3 times before leaving the house. Or maybe you just looked at photos from a beautiful trip and somehow you only focused on the texture of your thighs. Well, then you'll understand why a tiny little supplement promising smoother skin can be incredibly tempting. There would be no bruising, no needles, no workouts, no expensive procedure, and definitely no cannula being swept under the skin while the laser is conducting some kind of medieval excavation. Just a tiny little daily supplement and the hope that maybe this one thing could finally make a difference. I mean, I truly understand that hope. I've spent enough years and enough money trying to figure this thing out myself. So when I was reviewing Happy Mammoth's Ultimate Cellulite Control and found one ingredient with an actual placebo-controlled cellulite study behind it, I stopped scrolling past the marketing and started researching. It's called SOD B Dimpless. Now it's showing up in supplements promising smoother skin, less cellulite reduction of course, collagen support, energy, and apparently what comes along with all of that is a better emotional support system for your thighs. Or maybe your mind. I don't know. Both. I compared 5 different brands, 5 formulas, 5 different ways to package the same hope. One question, is there actually enough here to justify the investment and continue the commitment for 3 months?
Welcome to the Cellulite site.
Welcome back to the Cellulite site, my friends. I'm Bree Cox-Kennedy, and in my last Happy Mammoth video, I reviewed a product with a very bold, animated, but cute promise of smoother thighs in just 90 days. I'll link it in the description below. And while I had some thoughts about the marketing, strong thoughts, one ingredient stood out as actually worth investigating. That's SOD Dimpless. And I apologize in advance because I will be saying that a lot during this video. You're gonna be like, okay, I get it, stop. But unlike that first video, I'm not reviewing just the one product. Today, I'm comparing 5 formulas that either use Dimpless, which is a melon-derived SOD, or they position themselves around the cellulite, skin texture, collagen, antioxidants, or tissue support language. Some are full-on cellulite blends, some are more of a collagen formula, some are European nutri-cosmetic products, and one is not even screaming cellulite miracle at all, which made me more interested. My goal was not to find the loudest promise or the brightest, prettiest packaging. Marketing tends to not work on me. My goal was to find the cleanest 90-day test. Today, we're going to look at the research, we're going to compare the formulas, and I'm going to show you which one I personally chose to test. So a little background. SOD stands for superoxide dismutase. It is an antioxidant enzyme that your body already makes. One of its jobs is helping neutralize superoxide, a type of free radical. Free radicals and oxidative stress are not just buzzwords around the skincare industry. Oxidative stress can affect how tissue behaves, how inflammation shows up outside your body as well as inside, how skin ages, and how resilient the body's connective tissue environment may be. In other words, SOD is obviously not going to erase your cellulite, but it could be more like one possible support tool for the biological environment that affects how tissue ages, recovers, and behaves. But this is where we need to be a little more specific. The branded ingredient being used in these supplements is like a cantaloupe. It's derived from French Charentais melon, then formulated into a supplement designed to be taken orally. I know, a cantaloupe? Really? Okay, wait, just to be clear, we're not talking about eating cantaloupe and expecting your thighs to reorganize themselves. This cantaloupe happens to grow in the south of France. The question is not whether antioxidants are good. The question is whether taking this particular ingredient orally can create a visible enough change to actually matter. So that's what we're after. The ingredient company Bionove points to a small double-blind randomized placebo-controlled study involving 41 women between the ages of 31 and 50. 21 of the test subjects, 21 women, received the active ingredient, and the active group used 40 milligrams of SOD B Dimpless per day for 56 days. The reported outcome was a 9.5% improvement in thigh cellulite score at 28 days and 11.3% improvement at 56 days compared to no improvement in the placebo group. Bionove says 71% of supplemented women showed visible improvement, but there are limits. This was a very small study, guys, a very short study, and it tested one specific ingredient at one specific dose. So do you think that's interesting? I mean, I guess for me, it's a start, right? Is that enough to declare cellulite solved? No, even though the photos online are showing significant before and afters. The missing context is that cellulite is not a melon deficiency. Cellulite is not happening because your body woke up one morning and said, oh dear, we seem to be critically low in a proprietary French melon concentrate. Cellulite is structural, you know that. It involves connective tissue, fat distribution, skin thickness, hormones, circulation, inflammation, fluid movement, genetics, aging, and the overall environment in our life and around our tissue. So a supplement may support the environment around the tissue. It may support antioxidant defenses. It also has the potential to support skin quality or recovery. It may even help some women see a visible difference, and I sure hope so. But of course, it's not going to go in and reach under your skin, release the tethered connective tissue bands, replace muscle, correct posture, move fluid for you, or undo every consequence of sitting in our lovely modern lifestyle, travel, hormones, aging, and of course, life. It just means one supplement cannot replace the movement, the tissue work, your hydration, your nutrition, and the daily habits that support the body beneath the skin. Before I compare the 5 products, I wanted to explain how I'm judging them. Firstly, does the product clearly disclose its SOD dose, and is it close to the 40 milligram amount used in the initial study? Secondly, is SOD the main ingredient, or is it buried inside a much larger formula with so many other actives that I won't actually really know what I'm testing? Third, is it realistic to take every day for 90 days? It's a supplement, it should be. And fourth, after looking at the formula, the dose, and how realistic it is to actually use consistently, would I feel comfortable putting it on your radar as a possible tissue support? Not as a miracle cure, but just as one piece of the bigger cellulite strategy that we cover here on this channel. And if you're newer here, the cellulite circuit is the framework that I use to help myself and my friends and other women stop chasing one-off fixes and start supporting your structure, your flow, and the environment beneath your skin, which is our connective tissue, our circulation, our fluid, the movement. All of that plays a role in how cellulite looks and feels. If you're interested, I have a free cellulite circuit checklist routine linked below. And for those of you who have done that and you want the full structure, the full cellulite circuit 90-day reset is the complete step-by-step plan. It's a very practical reset. mind and body, and it supports the tissue beneath the skin without punishment, without perfection, and definitely without miracle promises. Because that is the key, right? I'm not testing this as a cellulite cure. There is no cellulite cure, but I'm testing it as a tissue support supplement inside a real life cellulite circuit protocol. During my research, I was not looking for the loudest screaming promise, reduce cellulite, gone cellulite, don't want that stuff. I was looking for the formula with the fewest reasons to doubt what I was actually testing. I mean, after all, I am spending over $150. I'm committing to 90 days. I'm documenting this experience, and I'm building more videos around just this one product. I needed to feel confident that I was testing something worth both my time and yours, and I appreciate you watching my videos. I compared 5 formulas, including the original Happy Mammoth product that started this entire investigation. We have a full cellulite blend to look at, a cleaner SOD drink, a mainstream cellulite product you've probably heard of, and a collagen plus SOD formula. Many types, but all of them are built around the same French melon-derived ingredient I wanted to investigate. I'll spare you the name. So that gives us a pretty good overview without turning this into a mind-bending supplement aisle hostage situation, because there are hundreds of them. My outlook on this experiment is simple. Show me the label, show me the study, show me what else is in the body, and then let's talk. All right, the first in our lineup is Happy Mammoth, and this is where our whole story began. So it does not just contain SOD B Dimpless. It also includes bromelain, serapeptase, CoQ10, butcher's broom, rosemary, diosmin, ginkgo, vitamins, and other actives spread across 3 proprietary blends. Some of those ingredients are commonly used in products that target and are aimed at circulation, swelling, or skin support in general. Because the label only gives us the total weight of each blend, not the individual doses, we cannot tell whether any one ingredient is present at making a meaningful contribution or amount. So if someone sees a change, was it the SOD? Was it the enzymes? Was it circulation support ingredients? Or was it the whole entire combination inside of the bottle? So there's no way for us to know. So my verdict on Happy Mammoth is it's interesting broad brush formula, but too many variables and not enough dose transparency for the clean test I wanted to run. Could these ingredients help support circulation? Maybe. Can we tell whether they are adequately dosed here? We cannot. So on to our second test, Lemme Smooth. This is the one you've probably seen on Amazon. Lemme Smooth is a mainstream, very direct cellulite marketing version of this category. Lemme is the one that makes the promises loud, bright, and easy to understand, which is not automatically a bad thing. It's just usually where I would put my reading glasses on and start looking for the fine print. But I have to give Lemme a little more credit here. Unlike some formulas, they clearly disclose the SOD dose it contains, the 40 milligrams, the same amount used in the small placebo-controlled study that we were just looking at. So from a dose transparency standpoint, this is actually one of the stronger formulas in the comparison. But it also includes vitamin C, chromium, hyaluronic acid, bamboo, silica, bromelain, and bilberry. Those may have all their own reasons for being in there. Of course, skin support, hydration, collagen support, circulation, metabolism. But here's the problem. We are no longer testing SOD in a clean environment, in that clean little bubble that we want. If someone sees a visible change, was it the SOD? Was it the hyaluronic acid, the bromelain? Could have been the collagen support ingredients. Or was it the whole combination? We just do not know. And that's not a criticism of the formula, but it's just not the way that I wanted to run my clean little experiment. My verdict on Lemme is its excellent dose, transparency, and legitimate study dose match, but too many active ingredients for the cleanest SOD specific test. Let's move on to Vitauthority Multi-Collagen Burn. Vitauthority gives us the collagen plus SOD category. And collagen absolutely belongs in a connective tissue conversation. But this formula is doing a lot. It has nearly 8 grams of multi-collagen vitamin C, chromium, a metabolism support blend with ingredients like ashwagandha and olive leaf, plus a cellulite control matrix containing hyaluronic acid and SOD B Dimpless. The problem is the label gives us 90 milligrams for that entire cellulite control matrix. And I get it. They want to keep these things proprietary, but it does not tell us how much of that is hyaluronic acid, how much of it is SOD. So we cannot compare its SOD dose to the 40 milligram amount used in the study. Who knows? Maybe they only put 10 milligrams. We just don't know. It needs to be a little more transparent, because if someone sees a visible change, they're going to ask, well, was it the collagen, the vitamin C, the metabolism blend, the hyaluronic acid, the SOD, or was it again the entire combination that has to work together? Who knows? The verdict is it's a potentially useful, broad brush formula again, but too many variables and not enough information on the SOD dose or the transparency for my particular test. All right, moving on. Priority One Cellu-Erase. This combines Verisol, a branded beauty collagen peptide, with SOD B Dimpless, which is a smart pairing. But that also means that we now have 2 ingredients that could potentially affect skin appearance, which again makes it really hard to know which product is doing what. Who's contributing here? Are you both? Is it one? Is it the other? The version I found listed 20 milligrams of SOD B Dimpless per serving, so that is not the closest match to the 40 milligram dose used in the study most brands are pointing to. So the verdict is it's a thoughtful formula, but again, not my first choice for an SOD specific related trial. So let's move on. Move on to SkinSips. SkinSips was the curveball. It does not scream cellulite cure from the rooftop. It is positioned around antioxidant support, energy, hydration, and overall skin health. But when I looked at the actual supplement facts panel, this is where things became very interesting. Their formula does give you the full 40 milligrams of Dimpless. You know by now it's the same amount used in the study, plus 1.7 grams of soluble fiber. Beyond that, the ingredient list is mostly there to make it a drink. It's got flavor, citric acid, and 0 sugar sweetener. No collagen, no hyaluronic acid, no chromium, no bromelain, no olive leaf, no circulation herbs, no giant proprietary blend that we're trying to keep secret, and we have no idea what is doing what. So my verdict on SkinSips is the study dose matched, clearly labeled, minimally crowded, and the clearest practical fit for the 90-day test that I wanted to run. So SkinSips Original is the winner for my 90-day full test. Okay, so here we are, the big reveal. SkinSips Original is definitely the winner for my 90-day test. Full disclosure, I bought all of this myself. This is not a sponsored video, although by the looks of it, you'd think it was. Nobody asked me to choose it. What also caught my attention is that SkinSips is not leading with a giant Times Square billboard that says "Reduce Cellulite Promise" on the front of the packet. You have to go looking a little deeper into the labeling and the product description to see that the SOD B ingredient is connected to the cellulite research. And I gotta tell you, strangely enough, that made me way more interested, not less. I think I can open these. The quiet product was not hiding the claim, it was just not using cellulite insecurity as its entire front door sales pitch. So I was intrigued by the brand's intention more so than I would be in a company that simply puts a cartoon on a packet and suggests our thighs are about to become smooth a little before and after miracles. The founder's story began with chronic fatigue and a desire to create something clean around energy, skin, and overall health and wellness. So SkinSips has two formulas, the original and the plus. Now the plus version adds electrolytes, which I take every day anyway, and L-theanine. For travel, I was very tempted. My nervous system saw magnesium and L-theanine and basically added it to the cart by itself. But all kidding aside, for this first 90-day test, I chose the original because I wanted flatline. So I got the two flavors. I got the lemon and the mango. The plus is probably going to be a great option later, so I don't have to do electrolytes separately, especially for travel. But again, wanted to keep this first test as simple as possible and get a read on whether this particular ingredient earns its place on my cellulite circuit routine. I gotta say, it's really, really good. I also have to say, the timing of this test is almost too perfect. For the last 2 months, I have been deep inside two very large projects. One of them is actually something I've been quietly developing, and I cannot wait to show you. I want your opinions on it. I want you to try it too. But as a result, my full daily cellulite circuit routine has suffered. And trust me, it shows. So this is actually a really good time to test a product like this. Not because I'm trying to set myself up for failure, but because I really, really want to know whether it can offer meaningful support during those seasons when life gets crazy busy and our full routine is not happening perfectly in the way we envision it. I'm not layering this on top of my best, most disciplined cellulite circuit. I am testing it inside real life. Maybe you're not traveling, but you have obligations. Maybe it becomes a backup tool, something that helps hold on to the progress that you've worked for when life gets busy. For the front half of this 90-day test, my life is still relatively normal in the sense that I am home, I am working out, I am walking, I am sleeping in my own bed, I'm eating high protein with low carbs, our standard new American diet. But the second half of this test takes a hard left into complete mayhem. In 3 short weeks, I leave for a month-long trip. Iceland, Hungary, Georgia, Turkey, Seychelles, Zimbabwe, Benin, and Malta. Did I say that right? Benin? I'll find out when I get there. With plenty of flights and airport hours before we even get to Iceland to start the trip. So this test is not going to be performed in a perfect wellness bubble. I will bring my dry brush and my gua sha because I'm not going to completely sabotage myself for content. Sorry ladies, I love you, but I gotta take care of myself too. So I won't be rolling, I won't be releasing, I won't be bouncing and behaving like a perfectly disciplined connective tissue scientist every day. Along with 10 flights in 23 days, there will be restaurant meals, airplane meals, alcohol, disrupted sleep, long sitting days, different climates, and me trying to remember what country am I in? But I'll have my SkinSips. By day 12, I'm pretty sure my lymphatic system will be... I'm leaving this group chat. I'm out of here. And this is exactly why this feels like it's going to be a real honest test. Most women are not living inside a controlled wellness experiment. I know you have kids and you have families and you have work and travel and busy seasons and dinners and stress, parents and partners, inconsistent sleeps and bodies that show all of it. I do not want to know whether a product looks impressive in a perfectly lit before and after photo. I want to know whether it earns a place in a real woman's life and routine. I know exactly what travel can do to a body because I have seen it. A few years ago, I took a similar trip to the one that I'm about to take now. By the time I stood in front of the Sphinx, a lifelong dream, I had traveled 36,000 miles, crossed 6 continents, visited 12 countries, all in 26 days. Apparently I was not on vacation, but was participating in an endurance event with champagne service. At the time, I looked at those photos and I probably thought, wow, bad angle. I know I'm tired, but now I understand them completely differently. I was so puffy. I was so dehydrated at the same time. I was so sleep deprived, and I was absolutely shower deprived after spending 4 days in the bush in Tanzania. My body was reacting to long periods of sitting, airplane pressure, restaurant food, different time zones, stress, zero routine. The compression stockings didn't even stand a chance. So sometimes what you may be criticizing in the mirror or a photo is not a permanent flaw. It's just your body responding to the day, to the stress, the pressure, disruption, and of course, the stagnation. I realize that this is a very first world problem, but those photos in Giza are from a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I had wanted to go to the pyramids since I built one for a project in 6th grade. And I actually have a hard time looking at those photos. I don't even recognize myself. The trip was absolutely extraordinary, but I can see how uncomfortable now I really felt in my own body. At the time, I just didn't understand. How could I look so different? And now I do. That's why I'm super curious about this SOD B test. Not because I expect a drink to erase the effects of 36,000 miles disrupted sleep, everything that goes along with it that I've mentioned several times before, and at the same time, trying to get the most out of every single stop. But because I wanted to know whether it can offer even just a little support when my normal routine is not enough and I go into crazy mode. Suffice to say, I'm not expecting perfection at all. I'm just paying attention this time. So here's what I'm doing from this point forward. I started taking SkinSips on June 11th, and I've taken it every day. You gotta try it. Today is day 26 of the test. So far, I haven't seen any visible change in my cellulite. And I think that matters because it is day 26, so I'm like a month in. But starting now, I'm going to tighten up the documentation. I'm going to mark the specific areas that concern me most on my thighs and hips. I'm gonna photograph them, hopefully in the same lighting, because we know lighting changes every day, but in the same poses, and continue the test through day 90. Day 60 lands when I'm in Istanbul, which feels like a fairly ambitious location for a cellulite supplement checkpoint. But I'm going to track visible texture, puffiness, heaviness, overall, just how do I feel, and determine whether this becomes something I genuinely want to keep in my routine. I'm not asking it for a total transformation. I'm just asking it for a signal. Maybe it will be a visible texture, as was shown in the study. Maybe it will be less puffiness. Maybe it's how I feel after the long flights, like I'm not dragging my feet around. Maybe it's nothing. But either way, we'll know more than we know right now. As you can tell, this is far from a perfectly controlled clinical trial. It's just me, a suitcase, a melon antioxidant, and a lymphatic system entering a witness protection program. So by the end of the trip, I should have a much clearer answer. Will this little French cantaloupe melon antioxidant quietly earn its place in my routine when life gets chaotic? Or should I just have the plane drop me off in the south of France and eat cantaloupe until further notice? Or will I get to report back that it was a very expensive little beverage? Or do I get to report back and say, you know what, guys? I actually see a little bit of improvement. I'm going to continue this test on. Either way, I'm going to share my full 90-day verdict with you when I get home and what I noticed. Anything significant? Did it help me feel less puffy or congested through travel? Will it earn that permanent place in my routine? And most of all, would I spend $40 per month on this product? So if you want more honest cellulite research, real life testing, and no miracle powder nonsense, this is what we do here. You know what to do. Empower your journey one video at a time. My beautiful friends, I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for tuning into the Cellulite site. We appreciate you being part of our community, dedicated to exploring and sharing insights on cellulite health. Connecting with confident women like you is what makes this journey so fulfilling. Our mission is to simplify your path to progress and spare you from months of uncertainty. If you're ready to take your journey to the next level, visit thecellulitesite.com to grab your cellulite circuit checklist. Embark on your transformative journey today, and in the coming weeks, witness firsthand how these concepts can make a positive impact. Remember, it's not just about absorbing information intellectually, it's about committing to the work and celebrating the results. A quick reminder, the content shared is based on personal experiences and perspectives and is not medical advice.